In the heart of New England, nestled between ivy-covered walls and ancient dormitories, lies a forgotten room in Dormitory B, room 313. For 20 years, its door remained locked, its story buried under dust, silence, and guilt. Cut to a young Muslim student walking with a suitcase, entering the dorm. He looks curious, but tired. The R hands him the key and says, "Strange. This room was supposed to be sealed." Narration: Ali was an exchange student from Jordan, quiet, observant, and carrying not just textbook, but the weight of a culture unfamiliar to those around him. Ali enters the room. The door creaks loudly. The inside is eerily untouched. An old prayer mat in the corner, a Quran with a name faded on the cover, and a locked drawer. Narration: from the very first night, he heard it. A faint whisper during Fajr, and the scent of oud rising from the cold air. The room wasn't empty, it remembered. Flashback vision. A girl in hijab, softly crying while making dua in the same room, bathed in moonlight. Her diary appears. The page reads, "Ya Allah, forgive me for loving beyond the limits." Narration: Ali finds her diary. Page by page, her soul is unveiled. Amara was once a student here, 20 years ago. Devout, brilliant, but trapped between love for a fellow student and obedience to her creator. Montage of diary lines, flashbacks of the girl and a boy studying together, praying apart, parting ways. Subtle use of Islamic quotes about love and sabr appear on screen. Narration: "He was my Qibla before I knew my Lord," she wrote. But when their secret was discovered, shame overtook Anna. She left, but her spirit never did. Ali begins to hear the azan faintly in his dreams. He starts praying more regularly. He places her Quran on the shelf and recites Surah Ad-Duha beside the old prayer mat. Narration: the room changed him. He began to feel peace, as if the pain once held in these walls was being lifted through every sujud he made. Climax scene: Ali wakes up at Tahajjud and finds the door slightly open. He walks through golden light, whispering a dua as Amara's shadow fades beyond the hallway. Narration: in the final pages, she wrote, "If my love was sincere, Allah will reunite us, even if it's through someone else's prayer." Ending scene: Ali standing in the masjid, finishing his prayer, holding the diary. He smiles gently. A girl walks past wearing hijab, nodding in greeting. Fade to black. Final narration: love doesn't die. When rooted in faith, it transforms, and redeems. Room 313 is no longer haunted. It is healed. They told me not to open room 313. Said it's been locked for 20 years, since she left. But I didn't listen. The old brass key felt heavy in my hand as I stood before the weathered door. Dust caked the doorframe, a testament to 2 decades of neglect. My fingers trembled slightly as I inserted the key, its ancient mechanism groaning in protest. As the door creaked open, musty air rushed out, carrying whispers of forgotten memories. Stepping inside, I felt a chill run down my spine. The room was frozen in time, untouched since that fateful day when Amara disappeared. I'm Fatima, a new Muslim student at this university. When I arrived, the dorm manager had warned me about room 313. His eyes clouded with unspoken sorrow, but curiosity got the better of me, and now, here I was, standing in a room that seemed to breathe with its own life. Moonlight filtered through grimy windows, casting eerie shadows across faded posters and dusty books. As my eyes adjusted to the gloom, I noticed something peculiar in the corner. A prayer mat, neatly folded despite years of disuse. Drawn to it, I carefully unrolled the mat. The intricate patterns seemed to shimmer in the dim light, and I could almost hear the echo of prayers long since uttered. My fingers traced the delicate embroidery, and suddenly, a soft whisper filled the air. Allahu Akbar. I spun around, heart pounding, but the room was empty, save for the ghosts of the past. Shaking off the eerie feeling, I continued exploring. In the desk drawer, I found a small leather-bound book, Amara's diary. With trembling hands, I opened it, feeling like an intruder in someone else's life. The pages were filled with beautiful Arabic calligraphy, interspersed with English entries. Amara's words, painted a picture of a young woman struggling to balance her faith with the pressures of university life. As I read, tears began to fall. Amara's journey mirrored my own doubts and fears. She wrote of feeling lost, of questioning her beliefs in a world that seemed to have no place for them. But with each entry, her resolve grew stronger. The final entry caught my breath. Ya Allah, I don't know if I'm strong enough to face what's coming, but I trust in your plan. If this is to be my last dua, let it be one of gratitude for the faith you've given me. The diary slipped from my fingers, landing open on the floor. As I bent to retrieve it, something fluttered out. A photograph. It showed Amara, her eyes bright with joy, standing before the Kaaba in Mecca. In that moment, something shifted within me. The doubts that had plagued me since arriving at university began to melt away. Amara's unwavering faith, even in her darkest moments, awakened something I thought I'd lost. I sank to my knees on the prayer mat, tears flowing freely now. For the first time in months, I raised my hands in supplication, my voice barely a whisper. Bismillah-ir-Rahman-ir-Rahim. As the familiar words of prayer fell from my lips, a warmth spread through me. The room no longer felt cold and abandoned, but filled with a gentle presence. I could almost imagine Amara standing beside me, her spirit finding peace in the faith she'd held so dear. When I finally rose, the first rays of dawn were peeking through the window. The room looked different now, not a place of sorrow, but one of rebirth. I carefully replaced Amara's diary and photograph, knowing I would return to draw strength from her words. As I closed the door to room 3, I whispered a quiet thank you to Amara. Her lost dua had found its way to me, rekindling the flame of faith in my heart. I walked away, not with fear, but with renewed purpose. They told me not to open room 313, but in doing so, I found not just Amara's story, but my own path back to Allah. And for that, I will forever be grateful.